Alrighty, daily trading recap here for this Wednesday, the 19th of January, 2022. No trades, no real trades for me on the day. Two paper trades that cut for kind of break even, but ended up actually working out in the way that I initially thought they would, but just got stopped out stupidly. But it's all learning lessons along the way. But yeah, nothing that I was so convicted in that I wanted to put my day trades in the basket for, in the mix. And of course, no longs that I would play with my cash account. SPY itself, market a little 1% day in the red, trending back closer to that 450 line off of that all-time high slap, now pulling back right around maybe if this 450 mark being a key psychological level provides any amount of support or bouncing if we start to trend or just go sideways between 450, 480 for a while. A good trend. We'll see what price action wants to do from there. Market internals on the day, dollar volume. It is a late night daily trading recap today, so we're coming in close of after hours, I believe, as of right now for what time it is. Oh, it's pretty late. NASDAQ showing that's incorrect. NYSE, that's also incorrect. Let's see if we can fix that. Alrighty, there we go. NASDAQ showing $268 billion volume on the day. NYSE, $364 billion volume. And OTC markets, $2.6 billion volume on the day. Yeah, let's just go over the charts quick. Nice and simple little recap video today. BBI, mentioned this one yesterday on that first green day move, but trading again that sentiment that I feel is there for the second day plays and really overnighting on that first green day, that there's just been no parabolic, no craziness to test against you in the after hours or pre-markets of the following trading day after that first green day news catalyst move in that pre-market. So trading this one on the same sentiment, did have a little bit of just started to dip, but then recovered pretty nicely, closing or opening. Market open right around that close area, 34 cents. Not that I could actually short this one with my real margin account through Trade Zero, since it is a sub-dollar, but just going through the motions of playing the chart pattern that is there that I felt. Getting short paper right out of the gate just to play that move if it just does start to fall off and offer really no opportunity of a spike to short into or any, if it just starts to tank off the table. Playing it safe that way, not necessarily a FOMO appeaser, but just saying, hey, I think there is probability that it just goes right from this point. And then again, getting another short position, all paper still, of course, that I'm mentioning, just above 35, that it's topping here off of that little perk. It is above VWAP this whole time, but finding some resistance around that 35.5-ish area. So playing off that, but it was just holding a little bit too well for me to feel comfortable or what I wanted to see it do for that trade idea. So cut it for pretty much break even on that trade, if not a little loss. Did have a little bit perked a new high of day from there. Had another little consolidation attempt at new high of day, but then pull back to VWAP there and failure to maintain VWAP and fall off. And then continuation downward to test this little range here around 28-ish, just before lunchtime session there. So really did for the morning session in a global or longer term candle perspective. Yeah, kind of did what I wanted to see out of it. Just a overall sentiment of death, but was not able to capture that in the time frame that I was looking for or within the parameters that I set on it. So maybe adjusting what I was looking for, or just watching it and giving it a little bit more time to say, okay, now it's kind of double topped here and this is a little bit different of a trading pattern, and I can kind of add on top of what I was initially thinking of overall lack of demand to push these stocks for the second day, looking at as a short sentiment for this double top trade factor as well, and playing for some nice percentage move downside there on BBI. And then I mentioned here in my journal this 937 candle that was just pretty nice big volume that tried to break to a new high of day off of that little rejection, but then just huge slam back down, just Willy Wonka-ish, big top wick, big bottom wick, weird candle. I said, okay, yeah, I'm definitely not going to even paper trade to be a part of it anymore, because it's just, I do not want to be a part of that mind-numbing head case style of price action trading there. NURO, next one. Again, another second day play. The true trade on this one, again, that I wasn't able to identify or be a part of even paper, that I probably would have been the overnight trade, trading potentially before market close or even at market close. They're looking for the continuation lack of volume to hold any amount of price support after this first green day that it had yesterday. But coming into, again, I can kind of handcuff myself a little bit to trading view is in the fact that I can't do anything pre-markets, short or long especially. So it's just like, okay, well, I'll wait till market open and see what happens. And following along with the same principles on BBI and NURO of, okay, let's get short right out of the gate. Just protect ourselves from there, as in the probability that these things do end up tanking and offering really no other opportunity that becomes almost the high of day, like it did on NURO today. just getting in half a position on both of those, BBI and NURO, what I was initially wanting to do, because I did feel there was still a probability that it would have a little spike similar to what BBI showed. But then NURO did not really offer anything higher than that, did offer a little attempt or reclaim back to VWAP that I did get short into. Again, just going through those motions, learning again from the level 2 time and sales, and just playing off of that chart and price action pattern. Sold off a little bit more to newer low a day. Was eyeing 5.5 as a potential price target window as it started taking off some shares, but we didn't reach there. Reclaimed a VWAP a little bit too well, and it was just holding along right to that undercarriage of VWAP that said, gosh, it's not doing what I want to see it doing. It's just, I don't want to play with fire here. I'll go ahead and cover. And just fooled around for a little bit longer, but then ended up tying off and having a nice little opportunity for a short trade there, even in the market hours itself, when I should have been really holding this. I'm identifying this trade as holding it from overnight, and sitting from an awesome position of power there on that trade today. But gosh, yeah, it's just learning lessons all around. And that's why I do paper, because I just wasn't so convicted in anything else. These paper opportunities do give me the opportunity to do that. Those are the two tickers, and now I gotta mention DWAC, of course, to finish this out. Still holding that one golden share from 57, but hard sell-off day that we had today. 10% in the red. It's only showing for compared to what it closed at yesterday. And now the computer's just gonna take a long time to load this. But again, the mentioning of watching or reading Jack Schwartz's comments in the chat, just relative. Okay, let's look back at that October 22nd or whatever that date was for the initial move of DWAC. That the kind of parabolic days were unfortunate because of how many times it halted and the lack of trading that was able to go through those times. So it's like shutting off the windows of shares available to go through. But these were really the money-making days following those parabolic days. And for looking at the daily today, comparing the dollar volume, the volume itself, the volume bars of, it's not a real panic, and it is a first red day. And for where it's holding and sitting now, gosh, okay. We could get a little gap down tomorrow, and it could get sketchy for a downhill. But yeah, I still feel like this has got some juice left in it. I do not believe the ride is over, and that's why I'm still holding that one golden share from that 57 mark for wherever that little arrow is back on this day, the 11th, that I started in on this little swing position. So it's totally educational. I know for certain that had I have an actual position size, and what the reason for this trade is itself, it's not to make money on that one share. It's just the educational process. And knowing myself, I would have absolutely 100% yesterday been selling into that 90 mark, and even to this pre-market today, I've been selling into whatever this was if I was still holding enough. But keeping on that little extra tax of just saying I still think there's more in it, and holding through this little sell-off today. And this is now back to that October 22nd for that crazy move spike to 175 of very nice first green day that it had that first day. And looking at this after hours and pre-market action coming into today, that's where this big squeeze and spike initiated itself and then carried into market hours. So coming into today with the slope and the line carry that it was having, and oh man, it's back to October. It's back to 2021 of, we could get a nice little squeezy spike here and surpass $100 before market open, but just kind of fell back down right to VWAP and then just tanked right out of the gate. Really offered no room for dip buying or any type of surge in price upward within the first 30 minutes of market hours there, and really was the type of trade that most shorts were looking for on that initial October 22nd move there on that trade. So, I mean, you could call it a kind of bottom here around the $78 range, and I think if we start reclaiming and testing 80, 82, start to press some of these levels, it's going to get a lot of shorts underwater. And just, that feeling and that intuition, whatever's there, I'm kind of excited to see what happens. It's just, I got my popcorn. I'm sitting from such a position of power that I don't have to be panicked or scared out at what this price action does. There was those moments as it's just continuing to sell off that I was just thinking of, I should just take profits here. I should just cut it. I don't want to take any more pain. This is going to be the first red day. It's going to gap down tomorrow. It's going to be sucky, blah, blah, blah. And then the truth was there of, let the thing play out. You've got the wiggle room. And this is the reason why we're taking a one share trade, is to learn from these experiences and get that emotional attachment to it. Not the emotional attachment to it, but take that little step in it, because now I'm glad that I had that experience to say of, oh man, I should have been taking profits. Oh no, it's going redder and redder and redder. It's going to be so down from, I'm giving up so much profit, that thought going through the head. identifying that voice in my head and saying, okay, you're stupid. You're going to go sit in the corner. You're not allowed to involve yourself in any more trading discussions, and seeing what this chart does. If it gaps down hard tomorrow and continues a super nasty red day the following day on Thursday and Friday, okay, then we'll learn from it. We'll continue to apply that to the next ones. But it's some of these not that I'm trying to make lightning strike twice on these types of charts, but these former runners, you can't deny them. And the probability is there, I believe, for craziness over non-craziness, or to be holding this thing for so long from 57 all the way to where we're at, just $90 there, 93, whatever it was in this pre-market today, to be doing that. That's the strategy. That was the swing setup that I was looking for from the start of this trade, and that's what I'm holding myself accountable to still today. Well, I thank you, Thinkorswim, for being such a just terrible and slow loader. Oh, now you're delayed data. That's absolutely great. So we're going to send this off with a nice little black screen there for this daily trading recap. Oh, back to SPY. Here we go. I sincerely thank you guys for watching this little quick and short nighttime recap for the daily trading today. We will catch you guys on the next one.